Here's a free video making tip for all the bold people out there. Use a hat if you don't want the flare to mess up your footage. Hey guys, it's me Vlad again. This is pretty much an addendum to my previous video about the Epic Game Store project. So if you haven't seen that, you should probably see that before watching this one. Yeah, but for those of you who did see it, I did mention, among other things, the Epic Game Store features, or the lack of. So I want to elaborate on that a little bit more, and I'm just gonna go through some features that I've noticed that I would want to implement, and also some of the features that some people have sent already through the power of the internet. Right, here we go. So this is what the Epic Game Store looks like currently. And before I begin, I have to be very careful with this project. I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, as they say. So I want to be really careful about what features are completely essential and which ones are not. So I want to categorize them. I want to do the must have and nice to have thing, and something else. I don't know what the third one should be. Or maybe I should have like 4 categories. I'm really bad with names. My first contact with the Epic Game Store was a couple of months ago when I heard that the Quantic Dream games are finally coming to PC. Now, I was a huge Fahrenheit. I think it just started raining and, storming outside. Jeez, what a summer. Anyway, I was a big fan of Fahrenheit, or Indigo Prophecy for the Americans out there, and they had a very unique style of making games, and every game they made after that one was a console game. The Fahrenheit was the only one that came out for PC. So, as you might imagine, I was pretty sad about that until a couple of months ago I heard that they are finally coming to PC. And then I found out that they're going to be Epic exclusive for some time. I don't know if it's 6 months or a year. But anyway, that was the first time I actually wanted to check out the store and see if it's true, see if they really have the Quantic Dreams games. So let's see. The first one after Fahrenheit was Heavy Rain. So I came here, I did this. There's Heavy Rain. I checked out the stupid warning. And yeah, they are coming to PC, which is great. Them being an exclusive is not that great, but that's not what this video is going to be about. So I was like, okay, Heavy Rain is there, so let's see if all the Quantic Dream, is it Quantic Dreams? Never mind. I'm nervous when I record without much editing or preparation, which is what I'm doing right now. This is totally unprepared, as you can tell by my rambling and going off on a tangent. Anyway, so I came here and I went like, Quan? No, nothing? Really? Dream? No, nothing? Wait, is the search not working? Is my internet down? Let's try Heavy again. Yeah, there is Heavy Rain. What other games have they made? Beyond Two Souls, yeah, okay. And the latest one, wow, this rain is really loud. I wouldn't be surprised if it was hailing. Enough distractions. Let's soldier on through this. What was the latest one? Detroit. Yeah, there it is. So what does this mean? Their search is only searching the titles of games. It doesn't search the publishers, doesn't search developers, and so on and so forth. So yeah, Detro gives me Detroit, but Quantic gives me nothing. It says no results found. What the, Also, Do they have info about the developer slash? Yeah, there it is. So no clicky here, no clicky here. Follow Quantic Dream on social media. No thanks. I just want to list by publisher or developer. So yeah, this does nothing. So that's my first kind of bone to pick with them. I want to make the search through devs and publishers, titles, probably other stuff. So so that the search result page is actually a list of games, not a single game. And of course, a nice thing would be this drop-down autocomplete thing. I'm just not sure if I want to have the autocomplete in like the most essential category or like the a nice to have instead of must have. In fact, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do this right away. Let's make a list. Let's make a list. Also, another thing that I forgot to mention in the last video is I'm not really sure yet how to call this whole thing. Should I go with something generic like Epic Games 2.0 or something? Or if I should try to avoid the Epic... I mean, this is all for educational purposes, so legally it should be covered under the free use the free use thing. But just in case, maybe I should, instead of like the Epic Games, call it something different. I don't know. What's the... like legendary? Because, you know, the tiers... How did the tiers go? It's like rare... Epic? Is legendary above epic? Yeah. Someone please tell me. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm gonna look into that. How should I call them? Must have? Haves? Must haves? Nice to haves? But then I don't know how to call these ones then. Oh no, I know what I'm gonna do. What I always do when I try to explain stuff. I use food analogies. Yeah. How could I have forgotten that? Food analogies is the best way to explain pretty much anything. So yeah. I used to say when people were talking about single player versus multiplayer, I always used to say that like single player is the cake and the multiplayer is the cherry. So it's pretty not really much of a cake if you only have the cherry without the actual cake. So I should probably do something like that. Okay, the cake. Let's go with the frosting. And then the aforementioned cherry. And let's go with the sprinkles. I wouldn't be surprised if this one ends up being empty, which is fine by me. Okay, so let's do this. Game titles, devs / publishers. I should probably have profiles as well, like user profiles, usernames. I'm gonna brace myself and not go too wild with it, so I'm gonna just leave it at that for now. Autocomplete drop down for search. Okay, so we have that. So the next thing I tried to do, since I couldn't search by or filter by developer, I was like, okay, do I have categories of some kind or anything? I saw it says all games here, but it doesn't do anything. It just says all games and it doesn't do anything. Like these are all the games they have on the store, really? I mean, they probably don't have that many, so it is possible, but whoever wants to, you know, visit a store and then list all the products that they have, usually people just search for a certain type of product. So no categories, no anything. So I thought that should be the next main thing. And then I thought a little bit more about it, and I, unlike physical products like, you know, clothing and shoes and stuff like that, I don't think there is a need for categories in video games. Especially if they're doing one platform like PC. If they were like, like an online store for a physical seller like GameStop or something, like they could have like PS4, Xbox, and PC and Nintendo. They could be categories. That's what categories are. By the way, the difference between categories and filters are that with categories, one product should only be in one category. Like, for example, if you have a man's shoe, that's only in a man's shoe category. It's not in the female shoes category. You know what I mean. But video games, most of the time when people try to categorize games, they try to categorize them into genres, and that's really a minefield. Games are not like men's shoes. Games could be several things at once. It could be an action game with RPG elements, with horror elements, with adventure puzzle elements, all of that in one game. So, not to mention the fact that people have started going completely crazy with misgenring. Is that a word? No, it's probably not a word. Misplacing them into genres then they don't belong in. I could go for hours about that. I'm a really big RPG nerd, and it's kind of annoying when you see what gets called an RPG nowadays. Games that don't have anything to do with role playing and stuff like that. So I realize that I don't really need categories. I only need filters, and one game could have as many filters as it's whatever. If you don't have an idea how filters should work, it's like tags on Steam. So on Steam, if you go to a game, you see this field. It says popular user defined tags. The keyword here is tags. I use the word filter. You can also use tags. It doesn't matter. The way I want them to work is this. You have a bunch of tags that are like early access, action, gore, violent, indie, simulation, adventure, VR. They pretty much have genres here as well as some descriptive tags. That's pretty much what I want. And I want to put genres there. I want to put any kind of descriptors. Survival, bullet time. Oh, these are all good tags. So the idea is when you click on a tag, you want to list all the games that are that have that tag. Browsing violence. You see, they know how to do it. Narrow by tag. Oh, this is a whole other level. This is combining tags. This is gonna be slightly more complicated. So you can combine it. I think this is what it does. It's like yeah. These are all the games that have both RPG and violent tags in them. So this is a good thing. This is really useful, and I should probably do that as well. Not just search by one tag, but by multiple tags and combine them. This is not the one that I want to skimp on. This is This is pretty much the most essential feature for the game store. Also, this thing is so bright, it makes everything bright, even my face. Anyway, combinable. Okay, so we are already 2 or 3 features in, and we've already covered a huge amount of things that are lacking. Like this only, if I only did these 3, it would be a big job. And it will be a big improvement compared to what they have now. But I don't want to stop. I want to move on. Okay, so what are other things? Let's take a look at some of the comments from other people before I try to come up with something else on my own. Let's see. I think there was something in a friend of mine's Discord. By the way, shout out to all my gaming friends out there, if anyone's watching. One of the 2 main features that seems to be missing from the EGS is a shopping cart that allows the purchase of multiple items. Oh, they don't even have that? And so if you want multiple games, you have to make multiple purchases? That sucks. Okay, so cart, shopping cart with a multiple. That's a must. Multiple items. There we go. And the other thing was a wish list. Oh yeah, the wish lists. I don't know about you, but I don't really use the wish lists with physical products much. But the thing is, with games, it's different. With games, you want to have a wish list because maybe you want, I don't know, maybe you want to keep an eye out on sales, or if it's unreleased games, you wanna kind of have like a calendar of when they're gonna come out. So yeah, my point is wish lists are much more important with the virtual products and games. So yeah, wish list, definitely wish list. Right, the next stop is dev.2. I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's a great social platform for wait, I can do this better. It's a great social platform for developers. The address is dev.2. Bunch of blog posts, bunch of useful stuff, bunch of great people. Holy crap, I already have like 932 followers on there. When did that happen? Anyway, never mind that. It's not what we're here to do. There we go. So yeah, if I didn't mention that, I have the video version and the text version of my announcement as well over here, if you prefer text to video or if you're in a noisy area. So let's go to comments over there and see what the people say. There we go. As I think you could do as highest priority. I don't know how to read this one. Never mind. They categorized it into categories themselves. How nice. As highest priorities, a store really fluid and a register system really fast, because having 5 inputs just to sign up is so annoying. Oh, that's not a bad idea. Since this is a fake store, I don't really need all that much data anyway, so I'm just gonna go with login with 2 to 3 inputs max. For example, username and email. Medium priority. Link the Discord of the game to the store's page. Sometimes it's important for users to be able to contact authors of a game. Now this is another interesting thing. So far I've managed to pretty much put everything that I want into 2 main like categories, or if you're thinking in database terms, like tables or objects, if you're thinking in JSON terms. User and games or game. So for example, when I talked about filtering by publishers and devs, I don't really think it's necessary to have a page for publishers and devs. For me, it's enough just to list the game by a publisher. I don't necessarily need to have some kind of a profile page for publishers and devs, but maybe that would be kind of like a let's go with the cherry on that for now, and I'm gonna think about this a little bit more. As a small priority, something to make discover games to users. Good games can be lowest rated. I'm not really sure I understand this comment, but there's an interesting word there, rating. Ratings are as well something that is pretty important with specifically video games and virtual products as opposed to physical products. Although they're pretty important for physical products as well, but even more for this. But I'm gonna separate this because I think just ratings without the reviews are easier to implement. So I'm gonna go here and do ratings. But here I'm gonna go with comments /reviews. Yeah. And finally, let's go to Reddit, everyone's favorite website. Jeez, I'm scared. Since I'm not a big fan of Reddit so far, I've only posted this in one subreddit, and that's the only one that allowed me to post because I have a relatively new account. So it's really hard to convince Reddit to let you post at all. I'm not gonna tell you the name of the subreddit because it's not very nice. Okay, let's see. Even if you just add a shopping cart, you'll do much better. So yeah, shopping cart, again, we already have that. Another one for wish list, yeah, we have that already. Wish list and a shopping cart as well, another one for each. So a lot of shopping cart and wish list. So I should probably, where did I put wish list? Oh yeah, the cake. So yeah, I was like, if I put it elsewhere, I should probably move it to the essentials. But it is here, good. This is a good comment. I'm pretty sure you can do it. Now it's just basically plain text with big cover pictures of games. Oh, the shade is strong. Yeah, so people on Reddit mainly want the shopping cart and the wish list. Good. Okay, what else could I come up with? Like I said, it's mainly going to revolve around games and the profile. So I've covered most of the features for games. What about user profiles? I don't want to make it like the I want to focus on the store aspect. I don't want to spread myself too thin and go for the social aspect like they have pretty much everywhere else. But I could do like, I don't know if I should do anything other than some basic info, user info on their page with like a profile picture and a username and some other info, maybe some custom signature that they can use. And if I go for comments, oh yeah, of course, games owned. That's like that goes without saying. I need to define games owned field for other functionalities, and in which case I can just might as well then show them on the profile. So you could see what games people own, like fake own, in my case, on their profile. And if I go with comments or reviews, maybe I could show what games they left comments on their profile. I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know. Let's go with the sprinkles here. This is in the sprinkles category. I'm gonna put the comments or ratings on there. The sentence is confusing as hell. Comments or ratings users left on games on their profiles. It's not the comments of games they left on their profiles. It's showing comments they left on games on their profiles. Jeez, I should really rethink my sentences. Anyway, let's leave it like this for now. And let's call it a day for now as well. This is gonna be it for this video. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about features. So if you have any other suggestions for features that we haven't talked about now, feel free to leave them in the comments. And oh yeah, the name of the project. Yeah, that's, I don't know how to, I should really kind of make, I don't know, like a poll or something, but I'm pretty bad with coming up with ideas. So hit me up if you have suggestions. Right now I'm torn between like Epic Games 2.0 and like the Legendary Games store. That could be like a thing. I really hope MMO nerds out there, help me out. I mostly play single player RPGs. I'm not too big into multiplayer stuff. So is Legendary above Epic in the hierarchy? I don't want to embarrass myself and go for like, I want to make a bigger product than Epic, and they just call it like rare, unique. Yeah, there's unique. Anyway, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave suggestions like I said. And if you want to follow along with my progress, hopefully there will be some progress, Subscribe to this channel or follow if you're watching this on places other than YouTube. Follow me on Instagram as well. And thanks again, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.